This is one of those things where technology has been infused with something and a brand is charging an astronomical price that does not align with what that thing does. This thing toasts f***ing bread. That's what it does. I have like a $30 Sunbeam toaster. It also has the bagel feature. I like lost my mind with this one because I don't understand. I can put a Pop-Tart in my toaster. I don't need $400. Like, what? Hey y'all, I'm Shauna. Welcome in or welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Amazon must-haves video. If you're new to these videos, you're in for a treat. In these videos, I talk about the Amazon must-have, Amazon essentials videos, and we talk about them, we critique them, and we talk about the ways that we can be influenced by what we see online, how people talk about things, and the kinds of attitudes that we ourselves might bring to the content that we watch. The point of these videos are really to be a counter to all of the overconsumption and all of the buy messaging and rhetoric that we see online. We are at, I think, number 6 in the Amazon series. So if you want to watch more of these videos, I'll link the playlist for you in the cards. Before we get into it though, I believe this is going to be my last video before Diwali happens. So to all of those of you who are watching who celebrate Diwali, happy Diwali to you. Secondly, I looked at my stats. 70% of y'all who watch my content, you aren't subscribed. You come back, you watch it, come join us. Come join us over here. It's free $99. I would love to have you in the community. Let's get started. And the first TikTok we're going to look at is a hosting must-haves TikTok. We're still in October, but we're starting to see the nods to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving in Canada has already happened, so we're good on this front. But because American Thanksgiving is, it's coming up, we're starting to see those kinds of TikToks. So let's see what we need for, hosting this holiday season. I can't wait to find out. There we go. Apparently, we need a giant ice mold for hosting. Apparently. We also need 2 different warming trays. Must-haves, gotta have them. In this video, we had 5 things pitched to us. We had the ice mold, the wine aerator, the kind of, the drink dispenser. We had 1 hot table. We also had a Lazy Susan. We also had a mini charcuterie board set and wine glasses. The total that was pitched to you in this 20 seconds was $250. Sorry, $248.09. Let's be charitable. The ice mold is $26.99. Does that not seem expensive to anybody else? $26.99 for a giant ice mold, which I think, because this is pitched in a holiday setting, I think this is giving a really clear context about when you can use it, giving a really clear example of when you can use it. And if this is you, you're like, oh, I think I could use this for this holiday season or my hosting this season. When else would you use it? I can just picture people buying it for this Thanksgiving and then never using it again, and it kind of getting stuck in the back of a drawer. And then in like a year or two, maybe when you do your spring cleaning, you're like, oh, what the heck's this? And you pull it out, you're like, oh, it's that giant ice mold I bought off of Amazon. You do not need a giant ice mold to chill your ice, and then to chill your wine. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can keep your wine in the fridge if you're so inclined. Or you could just put your ice in a bowl and put your wine in that. Look, that might not be like the cutest thing ever, but how often do you serve chilled wine? And then the stupid mold is going to take up space in your pantry or your cupboard to use it like twice a year. It's not worth it. Many charcuterie boards also not necessary because you could just use a charcuterie board. You don't even have to buy that. You could use a cutting board or a serving tray. Charcuterie boards can just really be a use what you have. The mini ones are just trying to get you to buy something new that is cute. It's basically a plate that you put on top of your wine glass, which you don't need. Just use your regular board and people can serve themselves in the quantity that they want. Also, this is basically a plate that goes on top of a glass. So the minute you set the plate down on anything, which you might do because you need to remove the plate in order to take a drink, so I can foresee people putting it on a table or something, that's now dirty. So you don't want to put the dirty tray back onto your charcuterie board. Onto your glass. And then, drink out of the glass. You know what I'm saying? It's not the most hygienic setup, which we don't even need at all. This is one of those products that is a manufacturing desire or interest where you never knew this thing existed. And then once you see it pop up, you go, oh, wow, that's cool. Like if you never knew about it, if you never knew about it, then you never really needed it. It's not really solving any problems either. Also, in terms of like the electric warmer and the Lazy Susan, you only really need one or the other. You don't need both. Either you're the kind of person who will have all the food at the table, or you're going to be kind of doing a buffet style in another room or a different part of the room. So you don't need both of them. Let's just put that out there. The electric warmer as well. If you're somebody who's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, think about your kitchen, think about your setup, because that warming mat has to be plugged into a wall. So where are you serving from? I know, like, I'm thinking back to my childhood or my youth. My mom would put her stuff on an island. You do not run a plug like across the kitchen so it plugs into your island. You might be lucky enough to have a plug in your island. We did not. So where is it going? Nowhere. It's not like you can't really use that functionally. So what is your setup, number one? Do you even do buffet style? And two, where would this thing actually plug into your kitchen? I don't know why I'm physically looking at my kitchen, because I would never buy something like this because nobody comes over to my house. Lastly, where are you going to store it? Tell me, where are you going to put it? Either of these things. I think the Lazy Susan is really ugly and looks cheap in my opinion. That's an opinion, not a fact or an objective truth. However, the Lazy Susan looks like it's going to break in 5 seconds. It just looks cheap. And it's $110. The Lazy Susan looks like a good idea. You're like, oh my God, wow, that's going to be cool. But keep your family in mind. Think about how chaotic your family is or is not. How maybe organized they are or aren't. Because I can imagine, if you got a chaotic family out there, if one person wants the green beans and they're on the other side, then you got to swivel the whole thing to get the green beans towards you. Like, you need some real organization to, like, okay, everybody got what they need, swivel. Okay, everybody get what they need, swivel. Some families are not that organized. That kind of thing is just, it's not the jam. And you might honestly just be better served by just like asking Uncle Mark to pass you the green beans. So it's just you and Mark having an exchange instead of like 12 people. In a lot of cases, the traditional pass or help people serve, you might get the green beans for yourself and then your Nana's sitting beside you and you serve your Nana. Like that's going to work in so many cases, and you don't necessarily need a Lazy Susan. Perhaps for some accessibility purposes to make access to the food on the table easier for some folks, perhaps, that's between you and your family. But I think perhaps barring that, it's not a need. It's at most makes life comfortable, I think. Let's now watch a fall bathroom video. So her bathroom is beautiful. I gotta say that her bathroom is beautiful, and she did do a great job with her decor. You can't really complain about the aesthetics of this video, but it's gonna be the aesthetics that are getting you Your bathroom probably doesn't look like this. Whatever, even if you have a big, beautiful bathroom, your bathroom still doesn't look like this. Mine doesn't look like this. And some of this stuff is just not going to be practical or useful depending on your bathroom layout. Like I could never put a towel warmer in my bathroom because there's just no space for it. It's also $160. $160 towel warmer. Like a towel warmer is something that is just a nice to have. And what I kind of think what happens with these Amazon videos is they need an increasing pool of stuff, or they just need a regular pool of stuff to recommend to you. And so things that are ultimately luxuries, things that are not everyday necessities, begin to be plugged to you as necessities or must-haves. They were never meant to be that way to begin with. Taking a nice relaxing shower at the end of a day, at the end of a stressful day, can really be an awesome self-care strategy, an awesome relaxation strategy. However, you do not need all of these in order to get the benefits of a relaxing shower. Maybe you can put on some music. That could be nice. If you have a speaker in your shower, or a lot of phones are waterproof these days, so you could bring your phone into the shower, maybe put them on a shelf or something, have a nice kind of ambient going with the music. That could be nice, but you do not need the stickers and the decals and the bath mat and all of this stuff to get the relaxation from the shower. Don't let these videos fool you into thinking that the only way to get the most out of your shower is by buying a bunch of stuff. Relaxation is not going to come with all the stuff. Also, you do not need a beverage inside of your showers. Your shower should not be that long. And if you are truly that thirsty, take a drink before the shower. Like we don't need that. I do think though, like the one thing in here that at first I was like, oh my God, this is unnecessary, but I realized could be like an accommodation kind of thing would be the lamp. I personally deal with migraines and light sensitivity, not all the time. And so in my bathroom, I have a night light, and also change the lights in there to warm. Warm lights are much gentler on the eyes. And so my partner has been changing out all of the light bulbs to be warm. And so our one in the shower is now warm. It's a little weird at first because I've never seen like a really warm light like that inside of a bathroom, but it is so comforting on the eyes. Anyways, I could imagine if you are somebody who does struggle with like migraines and headaches and light sensitivity, that a dim light in the shower could be good so you can turn off everything else. Barring that, this is not a necessity. And also, this video was not made in an attempt to provide like an accommodation or to provide like an accessibility tool. So let's also not get it twisted that was not the point of this video. The point of this video was to sell you stuff in the name of ambiance. She crafts such a beautiful ambiance, you want to recreate it for yourself. Also, maybe this is personal opinion, but I've seen a few videos now from just like different creators across the internet of people who've bought the device that sticks to the shower where you can put your phone inside so you can watch stuff while you're showering. And I overall am just like not a fan of those, because I think it's nice to take a break from the devices. Playing a little relaxing music is one thing, but watching TV inside of a shower or watching a movie or a YouTube video inside of a shower just feels like a reliance on devices that's a little excessive. Like, we don't need to be glued to our screens 24/7, and it's totally fine, totally normal, and healthy to take a break from your phone. And if you want to zen out and zone out, which I think might be the implication here, that like some people, they do want that distraction, you could do that in other ways, like with music. To me, this is a level of attachment to our devices that feels a little bit unhealthy. Also, with like the decals and the bath mat, we do not need to be changing our bath mats seasonally. It's not something that we have to do. You're getting to pitch the bath mat so she can make commission off of it. And so when these creators encourage habits of honestly overconsumption, they make money off of that. Once you start seeing things in your life to change out seasonally, they benefit from that financially. And that's, I think, one of the ways that these TikToks can really like affect us negatively is when they creep into our habits and how we think about our stuff. Speaking of self-care, I have a real quick one for you. So did you catch what I'm going to point out in this video? If you've been here for a while, you might know. I find every opportunity to point out Bloom sponsorships. This video is a double dipping. So she gets to get paid by Bloom to sell you their products, which she got for free because Bloom sent her the products for free. And then she pitches you Bloom on Amazon. She's Canadian, by the way, and it is available on Amazon Canada. I checked. So she gets to then direct you to her Amazon account for you to then buy off her Amazon account to make more money off of you. You might say like, how business savvy of her. I guess that's a perspective, but she's making money off of the backs of her subscribers. Anybody who makes this kind of content, who makes the Amazon content, makes money off of the backs of their subscribers. And this looks like organic content. She's using a known and well-loved video style to sell you an ad, and also other products on our Amazon storefront. It's all of the consumption, all of the ways to make money all in one. And it is an aesthetic video. It is super aesthetic. And she uses those aesthetics to sell you stuff and to sell you things that appear organic when it's not. Let's move on. Now, a couple of videos ago, I think it was 2 back now, I talked about the Bartisan, and there were many creators who were featuring the Bartisan. I think the one I showed in the video was not from the creator I'm going to sell now, or I'm going to show now, but the creator I'm about to show has pitched the Bartisan and has had made many videos on the Bartisan. I saw this like a week ago and I was just like rolling my eyes. And I find it personally frustrating when you have accounts selling you multiple versions of the same thing. It just kind of feels like, where are the morals? Where are the ethics? Let's watch so we can have a full scope of the conversation. So the Bartisan, that original one that I talked about, was about $400. Or the model that this creator is pitching, that one is $400. I checked her storefront. There's going to be a screenshot. It's $400. She has also created a video promoting Barzi 360, which is $500. This is an even more expensive, but also more useless version of the Bartisan. Now, the Bartisan is not necessary to begin with. Like, it is basically a Keurig for cocktails. This one is just worse, okay? So this one, it has 6 different sections for liquids, and the cocktail maker will only make cocktails with whatever liquids you pour into the different spouts. With the Bartisan, at least they had those little flavor pouches. So if you wanted like a strawberry banana drink, you can put in the strawberry banana pouch and you can mix it with your whatever, your tequila, and there you go. With this one, there is no flavor pouches. There is none of that. It will only mix together things that you put into the little, containers. So all it is doing is mixing things for you. If you are somebody who is able-bodied and you do have hands and you can use you have dexterity in your hands, then you do not need this. It's more expensive and it does less than the Bartisan. I can't even believe that I'm over here saying that the Bartisan is good for anything. But as well, I looked into it and you cannot remove those containers from from the device. So how do you clean them? With the Bartisan, at least you can clean the containers. Not very easily, mind you, but you can still clean them. It's so bulky. It's ginormous. It's $500. All it does is it mixes, it pre-measures your vodka and your cranberry juice. Like, you are so capable of doing that yourself. And all of your alcohol and inclusions are stuck in your machine until you drink them all. I mean, at least the bartender compartments, you can remove them if you're so inclined. This is just wild to me. And their whole gimmick is this app. It's incredible. One of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because people like the look of this better. And there are people who have bought the Bartisan who are like, oh my God, this is way cuter. Like, I want to buy this now too. You have that happening. You have somebody who is pitching you multiples of the exact same thing. She's promoting two competing drink machines. And she also showcases them like she uses them regularly. I'm so sorry, but nobody is using two drink machines regularly. Like she's giving off the impression that she uses both of them like they're her favorite, like they're just like a must-have, when she's doing it to sell you stuff. These Amazon sellers will treat everything like a must-have and like they use it and love it, even if they're selling you 12 of the same thing. It just feels so wild to me that somebody would try to pitch a $500 drink mixer like it's no big deal. Speaking of overpriced and useless tech items, let me show you another one. Let's play a game. Let's play Guess the Price. I'm going to give you some multiple choice. Is it A, $130, B, $210, C, $345, or D, $400? Lock in your answer now. I actually cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is a $400 toaster. Why? For the love of God, why are we selling people a $400 toaster? 400 American dollars. This is one of those things where technology has been infused with something and a brand is charging an astronomical price that does not align with what that thing does. This thing toasts fucking bread. That's what it does. I have like a $30 Sunbeam toaster. It also has the bagel feature. Like, I like lost my mind with this one because I don't understand. I can put a Pop-Tart in my toaster. I don't need $400. Like, what? Okay, to calm down a little bit. The manufacturer is justifying the price tag because it has a panini press feature, which looks like shit, by the way. Look, you can buy a really cute, nice toaster for like $100. We could even do $150 if we wanted. You can also buy a sandwich press for under $100. We'll call it $100. And if you have a sandwich press instead of a panini press, which is like a little bit more fly, you can press other things. Like, I eat a lot of shawarma, which is really tasty. And you can press more circular things. $250 for two devices, and you save like $200. Less than that. It's like $150. This is the kind of thing that gets people to upgrade because it has all these tech features. It has a screen, like an LED screen. My toaster doesn't have that. It has a panini press. My toaster doesn't have that. Well, sir, your toaster doesn't need a panini press attached to it. Also, have you in your life ever used a panini press? My guess is that if you're the kind of person who enjoys the panini press, you already got one. So you don't need a toaster with it. And if you're like, oh my God, a panini press would be cool. To me, in a lot of cases, that's cool feature that you never use. So yeah, so the kind of like LED screen, the new features gets people to think that they can upgrade their toaster when they absolutely don't need to. And in a lot of cases, like a lot of toasters are perfectly fine as they are. Upgrades are not necessary in a lot of cases. And if you are looking for a new toaster, like you are genuinely in the market for a new toaster, you do not need a toaster with an LED screen that costs you $400. It's completely unnecessary. I'm so sorry. It's not necessary. Don't fall for this. Save your money, keep the toaster that you already got, and if you do need a new toaster, this is not a must-have or an essential in the slightest. I mean, smart toasters are not a requirement for your toasting needs. We have lost our minds a little bit. Like, we've lost the plot. I need to gather. Hold, please. I have another one for you. And this is like a very fall video, so hopefully you enjoy. I think that making apples, like caramel apples for fall, is such a cute idea. And if this video inspires you to do anything, go and do a caramel apple thing. I'm all for this. However, you do not need a caramel apple station in order to do this. This is a perfect use what you have activity. You don't need all of these ingredients. You could just buy 2 or 3 things, get maybe a little chocolate chip, get a little maybe coconut. That was one of the things that you liked. Just get a couple of things. You don't need a ton of stuff. And also would recommend doing the slices instead of the whole apple. It's just easier to eat. And you could even do multiple different apples. Listen, y'all, we don't need to beat around the bush. We all know which one is the premier apple. It's the Honeycrisp. Okay? She's the best. Okay, all other opinions are incorrect. I'm joking, by the way. I love it, but it's not that deep. You could have different kinds of apples. You could have a little Macintosh. You could have a little Fuji apples. You could do Red Delicious. They all have very distinct tastes. Or if you like a green apple, like they did here, go for it. Get a couple different apples, couple little ingredients, put the ingredients in little bowls, because for some of this stuff, the actual dipping didn't really work out with the whole apple. So put in your own bowls that are bigger. It'll work great. You do not need to buy a whole station that is so niche and so unnecessary, because that's basically like a fondue pot. Fondue is not really a thing like it was in the 90s. I remember as a kid in the 90s having a lot of fondue. You could totally recreate this without having to buy all of this stuff, is what I'm saying. Great idea, but we don't need to buy what she's selling in order to do it ourselves. Let's move on.
Amazon Home Finds we use every day. This reverse osmosis water filter is an Amazon must-have because not only does it make your water taste better, it also gets rid of 99.9% of the harmful chemicals in your tap water like fluoride and chlorine, and it's way more cost-effective than buying plastic water bottles. Unlike most water filters, it can hold over a gallon of water, so you won't constantly have to refill it, and it can instantly dispense cold water at the click of a button, saving you valuable refrigerator space. It looks great on any countertop, the filters last a really long time, and it's an Amazon Home Find we're glad we got.
We're going to talk about this water filter next. And of course, it is a paid advertisement on the part of the creator, which I want to point out. I find the way that they advertise this product as disingenuous and a bit fear-mongering, to be honest. Because what they're selling you is the idea that your water that comes out of your tap is a problem. And they label fluoride and chlorine as harmful chemicals in your water. And then also they add dirt to their water to make it look dirtier than it actually is, which is an extremely disingenuous way to sell a water filter. It would be maybe something similar, like if you want to show that a product really does wonders to dry skin and you actively dry out your skin, and maybe you don't put on a moisturizer or anything to show you, wow, how dehydrated your skin is, and you put on the product and it's a miracle. Here's the thing. They're fear-mongering about water quality by calling something like fluoride a harmful chemical. There have been studies on fluoride in the US. Fluoridated water has been around in the US for something like 70 years. It is generally recognized as safe, not just generally recognized as safe, but also providing benefits. Chlorine in water is also put there intentionally and also is generally recognized as safe. However, there are problems in people's waters that exist across just the way that they they talk about it assuming this just makes me frustrated because anybody could be watching their video, and how people's water is treated is different from around the world. And then also just like kind of slapping this, like, this is the answer to all of your water problems. This isn't just like the one-stop shop solution. In many cases, this is not necessary. In some cases, this might not be enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know about the water quality and what's in somebody's water, just like at any given location around the world. I think maybe one of the misconceptions might be the chlorine, like maybe it shouldn't be there. But the reason why chlorine is added to water is because it removes waterborne illnesses. This is a direct quote, by the way, from the Government of Canada webpage that says, most drinking water treatment plants in Canada use chlorine as a disinfectant. The use of this treatment in drinking water has virtually eliminated waterborne diseases because chlorine can kill or inactivate most microorganisms commonly found in water. Yes, this is for Canada, but the reason why chlorine is used applies beyond Canada. Chlorine being there isn't indicative of a problem. Sure, a municipality or state, there could be problems with how they're addressing chlorine. Like, you just don't know. That's my issue. As well as after they fearmongered a little bit, they're selling you a machine. What's the price of this machine? Oh yeah, it's $500. Now, one thing I do want to note about water filtration systems is there isn't anything wrong with buying one. If you want to buy one, go for it. But if you were to buy one, I would hope that you would buy one after learning about like the water quality in like where you live specifically, instead of just buying one because somebody makes you feel a little bit worried about your water. So that's that. But I also do want to say that if you are somebody who is interested in buying a machine, one thing that I have learned is that changing the filters at the precise moment in time in which your filter is required to be changed is entirely important. I was actually doing some reading on the Brita, and one of the reasons why a lot of professionals don't recommend Brita is because people are so poor in changing their water filtration systems that not changing the system can be more harmful than not using a system altogether. Because mold can happen in your water filtration systems. There can be the development of other problems, which then sits in your water and then you don't change and you drink directly from it. So if you are going to get one of these machines, whether it's this one or a Brita, please change your filter at the regular interval indicated. Oh, also last thing, this reel does not explain the filter that they're using. And like what it is. They don't talk about what reverse osmosis is or the fact that they use the carbon filter. The carbon filter, they're both like separate and similar at the same time. So they're like getting you with the buzzwords without explaining anything. So now we're going to end off with another bathroom TikTok. Did anybody else get freaked out at the green bathwater, or when she put that like electronic device in the water? That feels like a hazard. I hope that's perfectly safe, but it just freaks me out to I can't. Okay, we're gonna move on. So This is a Beetlejuice bath. We went to the full extremes of the Beetlejuice bath. Like, she found every IP that she could and put it in this video. And not everything that I'm about to talk about is Amazonable, because we saw some stuff from Lush and from Fanta, McDonald's, but she went all out to give you the most ambiance as possible with this bath. And this is also something that really just feels like someone on TikTok did it, opposed to somebody in real life doing it. But I can easily see somebody going, oh my God, this is so cool, and wanting to recreate this themselves, or even a version of this themselves. It could be people who like Beetlejuice, but also people who like Halloween or that kind of spooky vibe, I think could want to recreate this. Maybe they don't buy the Beetlejuice specific branded stuff. Maybe they buy the purple and green. Lots of people like that. Guess how many of the products mentioned in here are Amazonable or were from Amazon? And number two, guess the dollar value amount of those products. I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. Going to give you like a few seconds to gather your thoughts. So we have 28 items from Amazon with a total of over $400. Where did you get everything? I'm so inspired. I need the TV projector. Where is it from? Where is everything from? These excessive baths are literally my dream, but each one is like hundreds of dollars. Yes, people are creating these themes to sell us stuff. We might know that. People in the comments know that, but that does not stop people from wanting to recreate it. Your bath does not need to be a source of entertainment, nor does it need all of this stuff to be an act of self-care. And if you do want to recreate it, like, I just want to think realistically here, logically here. What are you going to do with all of this stuff? Like, do you truly take enough baths to buy all the different kinds of rose petals, the black and white straws, all the bath bombs? Like, would you actually want to recreate that after your Beetlejuice fixation is over? And do you take enough baths to actually get through this stuff? And also, we don't need people encouraging us to buy new things of stuff we already have in different colors because they're not Beetlejuice colors or theme colors. Like, if you already have a bath scrub, you don't need a new one because the one you have isn't purple or green. We don't need to go on replacing our straws or our bath bombs or our bath bubbles because they're not perfectly themed. When we start going after perfectly themed stuff, we start buying so much in quantity and perhaps even buying things faster than we can use them. Even if you don't buy everything in this video and you just buy a couple of things, I think what these videos can do is they just keep us wanting more and keep us interested in the themes. And perhaps most importantly, they can keep us disinterested and disinclined to use what we have and to finish what we have. We need to romanticize that. We need to enjoy doing that and enjoy the process of using our stuff. I think that's the perfect place to end it today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I would like to know from you, because one of the themes of this video has kind of been self-care. How do you self-care? What are your favorite self-care activities? I would love to know in the comments. So thanks for watching, hanging out, and I hope to see you again around here soon.